4 Armenian soldiers have been killed in the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh. Azerbaijan and Armenia have been holding talks mediated by the US to end a decades-long conflict. The Armenian Prime Minister has warned of a further risk of destabilisation if the issue is not resolved. There's been frequent fighting on the border between the neighbours. Olesya Vartanyan is a Senior Analyst for the South Caucasus region at the Crisis Group. She joins us now live from Tbilisi in Georgia. Good to have you with us on the programme. Despite these peace talks being hosted by the Americans, is everyone sort of holding their breath after this incident because no one really wants it to escalate?
In fact, there have been many incidents taking place since the beginning of spring, and this is not the first time when we see clashes taking place along the front lines. The only difference now is that this particular incident took place exactly the time when Armenian and Azerbaijani foreign ministers and their delegation, they were sitting in front of each other and discussing the peace talks. It's really very important to know that the Americans are hosting the talks, but they are not mediating them. And then it's, of course, with sort of incidents, they are adding more problems and they are creating more difficult environment. There are many more people back home are asking, why are they there if the talks cannot really prevent these sort of incidents?
Indeed, we saw Russia take a pivotal role in getting the sides together. We talk about mediation. They're the ones that actually brokered a ceasefire as well. Russia has been bogged down, really, in the war in Ukraine. Some might say they've taken their eye off the ball. The US is replacing them to some extent. What's in it for the US to get these sides to talk and to find some sort of resolution?
It's not really right to say that the US is replacing them. In fact, since Russia started its invasion of Ukraine, with sort of diplomacy between Armenia and Azerbaijan has stayed without any kind of interlocutors. So in a way, what the United States are doing, what the European Union are doing, they are helping the sides to sustain their communication and to continue talking to each other. When Russia has time, they also do that. In fact, Russia has a presence on the ground. They have a Russian peacekeeping mission present in the very conflict zone. But with Russia being dragged so much in its war in Ukraine, there is less and less kind of dependency, or there is less eagerness from Azerbaijan to even pay attention to the fact that the Russian peacekeepers are there.
But, so, Olesya, I want to jump in then, because, we keep talking about Russia here in this conversation. What does Washington get out of this? I mean, the US, yes, is hosting these two sides to talk to each other, but they must want to see something happen, or else they wouldn't be facilitating as hosts. There must be a reason for Washington to be involved.
It's a very good question. And then the main reason why we see so many more Westerners, and not just Americans, but also Europeans getting so involved between Armenia and Azerbaijan is in order to prevent another war in Russia's neighborhood. There is a good potential for that. We saw 3 escalations last year, each deadlier than the other one. So what we see now is Americans and Europeans trying somehow to find a way out, somehow to prevent this new war that will be so difficult to address. It's not only Russia that is busy with the war in Ukraine, which is also the West, and they definitely don't want to see another bloody war taking place in this part of the world.
It is certainly a worrying development, though, there. For the moment, Olesya Vartanyan, thanks so much for joining us from Tbilisi in Georgia. Thank you for your time.